Hello friends, welcome to another episode on the Majestic Bean channel. Today we have an episode solely covering frequently asked questions on this channel. What I've done is compiled 16 questions, around 16 questions, from the past 6 months since we started this channel, and I have divided them in 3 groups. But before we begin with those questions, I would just like to welcome everyone to this channel where we make home barista content and help you brew better coffee. So if you enjoy our work, please subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy this video, like it. Also press the bell button so you get notified whenever we have new videos so you never miss out. If you enjoy our content, we have also a PayPal link below in the description where you can contribute and support our work and help us grow this channel and reach more people. In the future, when we have more and more people supporting us through the PayPal, we will also start organizing giveaways where everyone who contributes will be eligible for a worldwide giveaway where we will pick a coffee related equipment and ship it anywhere in the world. So everyone across the world is eligible for it. And I think that's great. So let's begin with the questions. So this question is crucial to enjoying a good cup of espresso at home. I, just like many other people, like to preheat the machine for at least 20 minutes. I know I have been impatient in previous videos and have tried to make coffee as soon as possible. And to be honest, that's not ideal. The short answer to this question is for at least 20 minutes. So that way all the components in the machine are nice and preheated. So I clean the machine almost on a daily basis. Sometimes when I don't use it, obviously I don't clean it. But most of the time I use the machine for at least 2 cups a day. And in the end of each day, I put just a bit of the cafeto chemical that I use and I back flush it with that chemical at the end of the day. I also do a descaling of the machine at least once every 2 to 3 months. So that way there isn't any scale buildup in the machine. So in short, I do it on a daily basis with the cafeto chemical, the espresso chemical, and at least once every 2 months for descaling. So the PID is an interesting topic to cover. I know that in the PID video we did, I was probably a bit controversial when it comes to this, but from a 2-month constantly using the machine with the PID, I can say that it was definitely worth it because it has made the Gaja Classic a very consistent machine and much more user-friendly than before. So in short, the PID is very much worth it, and I would encourage everyone that has that spare couple of $100 to get one and see their machine transformed into a very, very, very good espresso machine for home use. So the Gaja Classic Pro operates at around 15 bar pressure as standard with the standard overpressure valve spring that's in the inside of the machine. Ideally, you would want to bring the pressure down to 9 bar to a setting that's more appropriate to commercial espresso machines. And that way your espresso will transform. It will actually taste sweeter, taste better, but also it will reduce the chances of channeling as well. So I have noticed a huge difference between having the stock standard overpressure valve spring and this new 9 bar pressure spring. The Espresso is completely different, and believe me, you will notice the difference and the improvement in your home espresso game. So when it comes to espresso baskets, I think that's probably one of the first things people at home would change on their home espresso machine. What you're trying to do is change your basket to a more well-built, precision-built basket, such as the IMS or the VST. That way your espresso extractions will go up, improving your espresso quality and taste. I can't recommend a particular brand, but what I would say overall is change your stock basket to a precision basket and you'll never look back. In the standard basket that the Gaja originally comes with, you can fit between 16 to 20 grams of coffee, depending on the roast level of the particular beans you're using. If it's a lighter roast, you can fit more coffee, and if it's a darker roast, you can fit less coffee. So anywhere between 16 to 20 grams of coffee. So I always start timing the shot as soon as I press the brew button. And if anyone else tells you otherwise, you should probably not listen to them. The funnel I'm using is called a 58mm jam funnel. Jam as in that sweet fruit product you spread on bread. And you can probably find it in any Home Depot store, or if you just Google online 58mm jam funnel, I'm sure it'll pop up. I used to use it for fluffing up the grounds after I've ground the coffee. Since getting the Barista Sette, I obviously don't need to do that anymore because it's not clumping at all. But if you have a grinder that's clumping, getting that little whisk and whisking your grounds will definitely help you improve your puck before tamping. That little digital scale I'm using is just a cheap scale I got from eBay. If you Google or type in eBay digital pocket scale, I'm sure it'll pop up. It costs around $5 to $10 depending on where you're located. Over here in Australia, I think I got it for around 10 Australian dollars. The tamper I'm currently using is from Barista Hustle, and it's especially made for the VST basket that I'm using. So it's a 58.4mm tamper that fits perfectly into it. So I have a nice even level tamp for a perfect extracted espresso. The tamper size will also depend on the basket you're using. So if I was using a different brand basket, I'm not sure if this particular tamper would work perfectly for it. So it all depends on the type of basket you're using. But if you have a VST basket, then the Barista Hustle tamper is the perfect choice for you. I have two different sized milk jugs. One is the small one, that's a 12-ounce milk jug, and I use almost all the time. It fits just the right amount of milk for a small coffee. The other one, the bigger one, is a 20-ounce milk jug, and I use that mostly when I'm frothing milk for 2 coffees at a time. So that's all you need for using at home. You just need a small jug, a 12-ounce jug, and a bigger jug, which is a 20-ounce jug. So this little spray water that I say it's full with holy water is actually full with just ordinary tap water, and it's used for spraying the whole beans before grinding them in order to prevent static electricity building up once the grinder is grinding the beans, and ultimately that helps with grinder retention, because once the beans are sprayed with a bit of water, your grinder retention is lower than usual. So it helps with static electricity buildup and grinder retention as well. So that's a very interesting question, and a question that I've been trying to find the answer to myself for this past 6 months. I've tried different grinders, and so far the Barista Sette 270 works the best for me. What I would recommend to everyone looking for a grinder for home is, first you need to answer the question what you're going to use it for. If you're going to use it for espresso, then you definitely need to look for an espresso grinder. So before buying it, you need to ask whoever is selling you the grinder, is that grinder suitable for espresso brewing? That way, you know you have that particular brewing method covered, and you're not getting a grinder that might grind for pour over or some other methods, but not for espresso. So the Encore was the first grinder I got around 4 years ago, and at the time when I got the grinder, I didn't have an espresso machine. I was mostly using it for filter coffee, for pour overs and the AeroPress. So although the Encore can grind for espresso, meaning it can grind fine enough, it lacks adjustment settings, meaning it's not actually ideal for espresso, because you can't fine-tune your recipe to a particular setting that would work for different types of beans. So in short, although it can grind fine enough, it lacks adjustment settings, meaning it's not ideal for espresso. When I was using the Encore as an espresso grinder, the espresso range varied depending on the dose and the basket I was using. So when I was using the stock Gaggia Classic espresso basket, I was grinding coarser around the 6 to 8 or 9 mark. And then when I got the VST basket, I had to grind finer than usual, so I was ranging between 2 and 3. So in short, depending on the type of basket you have and your dose, you're looking at between 2 and 9. At the moment, I have one of the shims installed on the Sette 270. And my espresso range is between 5 and 6. Obviously, this grinder has micro settings. I think it has 7 letters that are considered the micro settings. So that gives me around 14 different settings when it comes to espresso. I always use the same dose. So that means that whatever I'm using as my espresso range is not necessarily going to be your espresso range if you're using a different dose of coffee. But in short, at the moment, for a 19-gram dose that I'm using, my espresso range varies between 5 and 6. So that's all for today. I hope I answered everyone's questions, or at least the most commonly asked questions. If I missed a question and you'd like to find an answer to it, please comment below and I'll make sure I get to it. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and also subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos. So for now, that's all from me, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.